Hello and welcome to another edition of Ambient Talkie, a show where we dive into some weird and wacky equipment and wonderful, call it whatever you want, music. I'm Andy from drumz, and I hope you're ready for some shameless self-promotion disguised as a video about production breakdown. So for this one, I thought it'd be fun to take a side road and focus a bit more onto modern production that still kind of incorporates a bit of my ambient explorations. So in essence, I'll showcase how I usually think about adding these strange instruments into the mix and how the love for some of these lo-fi ambient techniques find their way into different projects that are not necessarily connected to two round robins or other stuff that I do on this channel. So before we begin, a bit of backstory. For years now, I've been on and off collaborating with a talented singer and visual artist called Malidach on a project called Liamere. We started off by doing some future garage and trip hop, where the main idea was to take some of these darker electronic genres and put them in a context of more, let's say, traditional pop song forms. We got 2 albums out, you can check them out if you want, but for this episode I'm gonna focus far more on Settle Down, which is our latest single that basically kickstarted the return to this artistic collab between us. So I'm going to show you the project, talk a bit about the songwriting process, the arrangement decisions and production techniques I incorporated on this song. So let's move our asses down to Logic. So yeah, welcome to Logic. Hello, and I know some of you might be wondering, why aren't you using Ableton? Ableton is so much better and stuff like that. And for that, I'll say I'm just used to doing stuff in Logic, and I just can't be bothered now to basically relearn a new digital audio workstation. But I do think Ableton is going to give me a bit more in terms of creativity, at least for my own style. So I think I'll check it out eventually. Now it's just like it is what it is. So yeah, welcome to Logic. This is the song. A quick disclaimer here. The mix that you're gonna hear is not the final mix that was done through somebody else. I usually do the production, do a bit of mixing just to set out, just to create the world in which I want to work in, and then at the end I just send it to someone else to do the finalization and mastering. So for that, if you go now and check out the video or the song itself on some streaming service, you're gonna hear that it is a bit different. I mean, the same time it's quite similar, but a bit different. It's a bit more clear, a bit less muddy and stuff like that. Basically because I wasn't doing the final mix, which is great because it would be just worst. So in that way, if you have time, you can pause the video, go check out the song, or you do it later, I don't know. But for now, let's just focus on, I'm gonna play, I won't play the whole song. I'm just gonna play a bit just for you to get a little grip, and then maybe we can basically see what I did.
Breathing too hard, feeling entrapped, having a fit, but loving you for it. I guess you already know that. Chasing this high, caught up in a lie, or something I don't feel strong in. Guess I don't feel enough yet. Hold me close, settle down. Drag myself out alive. so tight. Settle down for us.
So yeah, that's like a part of a verse, a part of the chorus, and then post-chorus thing. So, anyways, go listen to the whole song if you want, if you like it. And let me explain what I did here, what I tried to do here. So, one of the first things that you're gonna see is the driving force of this track is basically the drums and the percussions and the bass. It's basically I wanted to move a bit away from the whole trip hop black hole that the project has dig into, and try to reinvent it in a way that won't sound too alienating to the existing fans, but still be kind of fresh enough so not to really put us into that black hole. So this is what I come up with. It's basically a sample of a drum loop that's a bit more driving, that has a bit more driving force, and this is just this. So this is just a normal sample of a drum, which I have filtered quite heavily. So this is the original, and then the filtered one. So I just kind of put the emphasis on the snare, and then use the kick from Labs, which is a Spitfire, kind of a freeware thing. And this is where I use just this vintagey, very low tone kick. And then to tie it all together, I processed the whole drum set through plum butter. The ciat-lonbarde plum butter through its inputs, and then you use the quantum dust to give it that extra crispiness and crackly sound that has become so synonymous with this drum. And you can hear quite a lot of this crackles just in the background. So with all that, you basically get this like. And this is a great loop to just like, kind of home it in, kind of be a bit more static in ways. So in order to kind of fix that staticness or whatever, I kind of then used, let me just see, I think I have it here. Yeah, I kind of used this like tambourines of sorts and stuff like that. So like percussions. So you have a shaker here. And a tambourine there. So this then creates this a bit more groove, I feel, and then to top all off, you have basically the electric bass, which was done with a real bass plus at times a fake bass. Like for example, here at the beginning, if you just listen to the bass. It's not enough talkie for my taste, so I used an electric bass from Labs, which has a lot of attacks but sounds fake as shit. So for that, then I just use it like this. Oh. So it's a bit off key here, not off key, but off rhythm here, but I think it kind of works. Oh, this is a bass edit. Sorry, yeah, here it is. This one, not this one. And this is, what the hell is this? I can't really remember. Oh yeah, it's a fake bass as well. Huh, okay. Well, there you go. I think I used this like to tune it up to this thing, so it's a bit more in tone with this thing. So yeah, so there you go. This was basically, it's a bass, and it's bass and drums. Perfect combination for any genre ever. Just use bass and drums. Said absolutely everyone ever. So yeah, this is the main force. It's just this driving thing through the drums and the bass sound here. Okay, moving on. we can move to these boys here, which is the synths. Now, one thing about synths is if you have listened to the drums and the bass, I felt like there's not enough low end to basically tie in or glue stuff together. So this is why I usually do this trick, is just using a pad sound and then filtering out the heck out of it and then just have it like this. And I do have it side chained, I think, here through, what's this? Through the kick. So this is the kick. So yeah, so this is a thing. And then, of course, moving on to other synths, you have the motif here. Which is like this lo-fi sounding guitar harmonics from Labs. But the main thing is there's a lot of this chow tape model, which is one of the, at least for me, one of my favorites lo-fi emulators of like old cassette medium and all that. And I know we just had like an ambient talkie talking about tape loops and how great they are, and now you see me here using the digital version. It's just like at times, like especially if you have like millions of tracks, I just cannot be bothered by setting up a whole new tape loop and then trying it out in that way. Although I have used it on some other tracks, like the true purist way. But anyway, this is something that we're kind of moving to the whole lo-fi feel of the track. And of course, it's not like bedroom pop production or something like that. It just like takes a lot of inspiration from those genres and tries to incorporate them into this thing. So let's say, for example, we have here like the ciat-lonbarde and Norse type things. And I think this is like, let's say, for example, this is OP1 playing the fall engine or the fall sample from the autumn engine of the full script. And like, and it just sounds so lovely. Like I love the autumn engine. It's so great. And then I tried to mix this up with like deer horn samples again from the OP1. So in context, it should be like this. So again, it adds a bit to the whole track. It doesn't really add, like, I wouldn't say that it adds so much, but it adds a bit. And for this, I think it works really fine. And then, of course, once we're talking about the lo-fi section, there's a track somewhere here that's constantly. So this is the percussion, because you may hear crackles in the background. This is because of the vinyl thing here. And this is, again, it's a free plug from iZotope. It's great. I absolutely love it. It has this like a little nice crunchy sound to it. But anyways, moving back to the whole lo-fi sections of this thing, we have the cocos. And now the cocos, usually I use them as loopers for some ambient soundscapes and something like this. But like in this track here, coco becomes a rhythmic element. So obviously, and this adds to the drums. So yeah, the thing is with this coco, I can't really remember what the hell I put it, what I sampled into the cocos to get this sounds particularly. I just know, like, I took a sample of coco, like of whatever it had in its buffers, and used this kind of rhythm. I think I used a metronome and then moved it and then routed it through the piezo in, and then just used that to be my clock of sorts. And then used that as a, I can't really remember, it's been so long, but it's basically, it has become like a gigantic part of the whole thing. It just sounds so dirty, it sounds raw, it's a Coco Quandis, it's great. And of course there's this thing which adds, this is by Kush Audio, again a great company that makes great plugins, and this just adds a tiny bit on the high end of the frequency spectrum, just to kind of like really resonate and stuff like that. So yeah, so of course you have to use like also a lot of reverb, and I usually use Valhalla Supermassive. I do have the vintage verb from Valhalla, it's great, but like for ambient stuff and for like more electronica stuff, the free version of Supermassive, which I think it's the only version that I have, it's a freeware, it just adds so much. So if you don't have this, I really suggest you try it out. Okay. Moving from the synths to more things, piano has become like a sort of a gigantic part of Liamere thing. So this is why we have pianos here. One thing here that's kind of important to mention is the electric piano here, which is the main thing that's going to give us the harmonic content of the song. So yeah, it's basically just Ravenbush from Spitfire, which is a sort of a library with different weird stuff from, I think, Ravenbush as an artist, and the whirly sound is very beautiful. I also used again the chow tape model just to add a bit of that analog sounding fakeness to it, and then adding a lot of reverb just to add to that up. But again, if we move to piano, there's two stuffs here. So first things first is this really low piano verse and piano sound, and then I used like stuff like a reverse section here, not a reverse section, but this was like a stuttery effect here, and then I think the reverse is here, if I know. Yeah. So a lot of these times, you know, in order for you to glue stuff together, like from going from one section to the other, or creating this kind of a little what's the word? Kind of like how to fade from one section to the other. You use like this little tricks. You reverse the audio. You use like stutter effects. Like I use it for drums as well here, like this thing. Boom. Like this thing. It's just like this. Breathing too hard. And I think this like adds so much. It's just cut audio, nothing too fancy, and then just creates a lot to do how to fade from one section to the other. So yeah, going back to the piano, this was that, like the low tones and the electric piano for Moonglades just add a lot. And then there's this beautiful thing. So you have the chorus section here. And you have Stratus, which is by far the most beautiful VST ever created. It's a take on Olafur Arnold's Stratus piano, which I think he like did this what you're hearing here, but just like mechanically with 3 pianos, and it sounds so wonderful. And this adds to the mix or to the song arrangements, like this little bitter sweetness to it, which I think kind of adds. And you can hear it in the background because like it's not that present, but just like adds a bit of that. And then you have the lo-fi version of that. Which I think it's quite nice. This lo-fi section here is basically a lot of tape distortion, and then you have the texture plugin, which is again a really cool way of trying to dirty up the sound. You either use one of these things, like from the voices, the Foley, the noise section, or whatever. You put it on, like on the thing. So this is how it sounds, and then it just like kind of acts with the whole envelope of the thing. And you can basically change the pitch, do whatever. And the best thing is you can import your own noise or whatever that's gonna be used. So I could have done the same thing with just like using the Quantum Dust and Plum Butter for this thing. But anyways, this is a thing that kind of works really well within the track.
Will you hold me so tight, settle down?
So from this, we can move to the string section here, which is a mixture of Olafur chamber orchestra that's made with Spitfire, which sounds lovely on its own, but then we added a bit of real violins that was played by Maggie, just for a bit of a high end. So, this adds a bit of realness to the whole thing, and just basically creates a bit more depth in the whole arrangement. And then, of course, we had like the, I think here is, what's this? Oh, this is just the Olafur strings. I'm trying to find, oh, another piano here is this Mrs. Mills. Yeah, this is the low piano thing that I used on the verse. It's just like, it sounds so plunky. And again, like a little cut here that sounds, and just adds a lot to that. And then we had, I think, I'm just trying to see, maybe I've hidden, oh no, we have the saxy part here. The saxy part here. And this is so bad. This is Albion Neo, the saxophone sample from Albion Neo. It's I don't know. It sounds fake as shit when played solely this, but if you add it to the mix,
To get back and drag myself out of life. The need to feel.
there's a bit there that kind of adds to this resonance. And so this is one of my techniques, is just like put a lot of stuff on it, don't make it obvious, and then just create from scratch whatever that is. So this is when it comes to the instrument section. And then you have like the vocal section, which I won't go into much because the vocal production was mostly done then by somebody else. But when it comes to stuff like little, so a lot of times, I would get like a few takes from the vocal section, and then I will try to search for mistakes. Well, not mistakes or any natural occurrence, like breathing parts or stuff like that, and I would use that as something else, like here. And this is how basically the vocals become a rhythmic element. Oh, sorry. There we go.
Hold me close, settle down with me.
So you can hear it just by starting, and it like adds to this thing, as well as some stuff like this.
For me.
Like, it's a cool little way, and it's very fun. And then of course you have the backing vocals and stuff like that, which are great, but the main thing that I did here was basically this. which is just using distortion and then a bit of this plate reverb. And this like then kind of creates this. So I wanted to fake Danger Mouse here quite a lot, or anything that's done but with Michael Kiwanuka or anything like, because I just love that style, and I just thought it'd be great to have something that like that here. So so yeah, a couple of real violins here for the ending as well, and then we have like this.
Stand by while you hold.
And again, for the life of me, I cannot remember what I did here, but I think it's texturized, or I think it was done through Coco Quantis. I can't put my hand on it.
You hold me so tight. Settle down for us.
So yeah, that's mostly it when it comes to mixing, when it comes to production of this track. It's basically trying to merge two worlds. It's trying to merge something that I just find interesting, texturally interesting, and something that I find me doing myself quite often is this like ambient, lo-fi, texturized, formless type of music, and then trying to take a bit of that and then, shoehorning it into, a modern pop, indie pop type song. I don't know, because I cannot put a genre on it, but whatever. Hope you enjoyed this, and I'm just gonna leave the word back to the other guy, which is also me. So yeah, goodbye. So yeah, there you go. I know this was a bit different from the usual material, but I do hope you found something rather useful in this more modern production breakdown. If you haven't done so already, check out the video, listen to the song, maybe even check out the other albums, I don't know. Also check out Malidach. She fuses a lot of these more ambient soundscapes into the mix, and it's a great listen. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate and ask in the comments down below. Like and subscribe, but most importantly, have a great rest of your morning, evening, whenever you might be watching this, and take care.